Hey everyone, welcome to today's Facebook Live. Sorry, I am getting on here late. Facebook's been a little bit glitchy and I couldn't go live for the last 10 minutes. So I've been ready to talk to you guys. So I'm excited for everyone to be here. And as always, it's so fun to make those connections. So do comment where you were from. It is so fun to make connections from all around the world. We had a lot of questions come in to the DMs between Instagram and Facebook. So I'm really excited to be answering those questions. Donna, it is good to see you. You were the very first person I am seeing on here. Welcome. So you guys, today we are going to be talking about how I've been creating a cozy little Christmas for my family, how I've been simplifying and just keeping things centered and focused on the true meaning of Christmas in my home. I'll be sharing some of my favorite things as we get into this video here. Tina, it is good to see you. Vivian, it is good to see you on here as well. We're gonna be talking about my kids and social skills and all the things. So I'm excited you guys are all here. Denise, it's good to see you. Carol Anderson, welcome. Glad you guys are tuning in. Cheryl, hello from Florida. Facebook has just been really, really glitchy, you guys, for me, like the last couple months. So if you're just tuning in, sorry I'm late. I wasn't able to go live for the last 10 minutes. So I'm so glad you guys are tuning in. Susan, it's good to see you. Taylor, it is good to see you on here as well. So let's just dive on in here. You guys, I am so tired. My kids have been getting up at 5:30 every single morning since they got back from their dad's house. And I have missed these kids and I thought I had rested up, but boy, getting back into the swing of things, we call it transition day, like the first couple days, because the kids are getting the hang of still our new place and just how we do things in my home. So I am just tired and they've just been excited, I think full of Christmas cheer and the Christmas spirit. But boy, I am tired. By the time I dropped them off today, I looked in the mirror and I was like, gosh, I don't look so hot. I'm stinky. I need a shower, but I had to get some work done. So I just barely got ready for the day and I am just feeling fine and fancy. Candace, it's good to see you on here as well. Okay, well, you guys, I just stopped into my local TJ Maxx and found the cutest things. I have been shopping lately at Ross, TJ Maxx, and then I've been doing Amazon shopping. And I have found just some of the sweetest things. So I wanted to show you guys and share some of the items that I just picked up like an hour ago at my TJ Maxx. They have just the sweetest things. Maddie says she's from Ireland. Welcome, Maddie. Tina, it's good to see you on here as well. Okay, so I wanted to start off with this wrapping paper that I just picked up. I'm really going with like blues and greens and neutral tones in this new space. It just makes my home feel more light and airy. And I also like wrapping paper that isn't necessarily Christmas themed. That way I don't have to store it all year long with the quintuplets. So let me grab what I just picked up at my local TJ Maxx for you guys. I have a lot of things that I will be sharing in this video. Okay, so this is the wrapping paper that I just picked up from TJ Maxx. It is so cute. This just gold striped. It's from the brand My Mind's Eye. I really loved that brand. They had just really pretty wrapping paper, and this one was $3.99. Super cute. And then this green one I love for Christmas, but I also think year round I could use this wrapping paper for gift giving. This is the one though that I pulled that is Christmas. It's kind of neutral themed, but it has so many different colors going on. I can pull in peach tones, blush pinks. It's got some floral. It also says the word, this is going to be backwards for you guys, but it says the word joy. And I am all about teaching and instilling joy with my family. And so I really liked that. So I'm going to kind of decorate my tree and things just kind of around that inspiration of wrapping paper, which probably sounds silly, but I just love good wrapping paper. And I thought this was so cute. This was in their Christmas section. This is again from My Mind's Eye, $3.99. This is going to be so cute for the little boys. I just loved the wrapping paper selection they had. I'm seeing a lot of trends right now of like scallops scalloped things, and then also like ribbons, which I think is so cute, and wrapping paper and home decor. And it reminds me a little bit of my childhood growing up in the 80s, early 90s. So what's old is new again and has made a comeback, and I absolutely love it. And then I found these cute little Christmas tags. So my kids' presents that Santa Claus is going to bring this year are going to have these little tags on them. I thought this was just so cute and just like very like warm and neutral toned and comforting. So anyway, that is the wrapping paper I picked up. It was so cute. And then I found the cutest little train set at TJ Maxx. The one I have wanted online is just so overpriced. And so this one I found for $12.99 at TJ Maxx. It is so cute. It's kind of in their toy section and kind of like toddlerish toy section, but my kids still play with things like this. And so we do have a little train set, and it's teeny tiny. It's a little wooden track. So I'll probably get like an extension of a wooden track, but I know my boys are going to love it. And I love that it's in like more of these neutral toned colors for my kids. And I love toys that all my kids can play with. They're not necessarily like gender specific toys. So I'm so excited to wrap these presents when my kids go back to their dad's house next week. So I'm really excited about that. And then I was going to share with you guys this company that we have had their toys forever, and I love this company. They're called, this is not sponsored, but this is the brand Sarah's Silks, and my kids love playing with play silks. It's one of those like open-ended toys, and so it's very sensory friendly. They're made out of silk, and they're just really pretty. Daisy and Logan, that have sensory stuff, like really love sensory friendly toys. But they have just really beautiful colors. And then this one reminds me of Lincoln, and this one reminds me of fire, and Lincoln, I'm sure, will love playing with that. So my kids use these for dress ups. They use these for like play scenes. They use these with their train sets, with their blocks. I love creativity and play, and I think it's so healthy and so good for my kids. So I really love this company. You can buy these Sarah Silks off of Amazon. So anyway, I'm really excited to give those to the kids. And this year from Sarah Silks, I'm really excited because I know specifically Logan and Lincoln are gonna love, I'm not gonna open this, but this is a huge play silk that can be turned into a fort or whatever they want. And then you can purchase these little wooden clips. And again, they're sensory friendly, so my kids are gonna love these. And this one is really pretty. It's like stars, little gold stars. And we have a smaller version of this play silk, and my kids have loved this. They still play with it just about every single day. But building forts is kind of something that my kids have really been into. And so I thought this would be such a perfect gift for my kids this Christmas. So I'm happy to leave like a link for you guys of these things from Sarah's Silks. It's not sponsored. I just wanted to share that with you guys. Just a few of the things that I'm gifting my kids this Christmas. I'm so excited to spend time with them. I will have my kids for Christmas and Christmas Eve, and I am just so, so excited. Okay, we've got Vicki tuning in. Vicki, good to see you. Victoria has just tuned in. Hi, Victoria. And Carol Blythe, hi, welcome. Okay, let's dive into some of these questions that you guys have asked. And we had, Cheryl just said she wants to play with the play silks. I love toys that are sensory friendly, and my kids, having quintuplets, they feel overstimulated a lot, especially after school, being around even more kids. So coming home, my kids just really, really need sensory friendly toys that are play friendly, open-ended play things, because then we don't have to have so many toys. We can just play with lots of different things in lots of different ways. Somebody just said they love TJ Maxx shopping. I really love TJ Maxx, and lately I've really been loving Ross, and we just got 2 locations of Ross here in Southern Utah, and there's one that I prefer for shoes and clothing because I can find triplet items and twin items there. The one that is next to Target has the better selection. I feel like when it comes to clothing and shoes, they're very well stocked, whereas the other Ross in St. George, I feel like is a little bit cleaner since it's brand new. And as far as things like home decor, it's just easier to find. And I actually picked up, you can see from Ross right here, this pretty little white vase that I'm just gonna switch out with the seasons for flower arrangements and things, but it was only $20 and they had 2 of those vases. So I snagged 2 for 20 bucks. That was a great deal. So anyway, okay, Helen Davies asked, wondering if the quintuplets still believe in Santa Claus and does he visit them at both houses? Yes, my kids still believe in Santa. And this is, I've never really made a huge deal about Santa Claus in my home with Shayden, with Landon, and not really with the quintuplets. That's not really something that I was like always talking to my kids about. It was something where we would still watch shows about Santa Claus. It was still something that they would talk about, but I love celebrating the season focused and centered on Jesus Christ, and loving our family and loving others. And so I really just have simplified Christmas and let my kids just naturally talk about Santa Claus in the way that they choose to. So my kids do believe in Santa Claus. And so Santa does bring like 1 gift to our home, and then the rest are going to be from the people that they know, that they love. And so anyway, I'm just trying to simplify this year for Christmas, but I am so excited to spend that time with my kids this year. Judith is tuning in. Welcome, Judith. Glad you're here. And Liz, good to see you on here as well. Okay, Karen. Okay, so getting back to like, do we celebrate Christmas and Santa Claus at both houses? Yes. And so Dad and I rotate with the holidays, who the kids spend time with. So typically what I've done, because last year I didn't have the kids on actual Christmas Day, when they get back the week later while we're celebrating New Year's, because that was my holiday last year, Santa Claus still does come to our home and Santa Claus brings 1 gift, and it is just as magical that my kids get to open gifts at both houses. Okay, Karen asks, what are your big kids asking for Christmas? You guys, I have really, really good kids. All my kids, they're really good kids. They're really sweet. They understand that this year money is tighter for our family. And so they are very like mindful of that and sweet about that. So Landon is just simply asked for some things that he needs and then like a couple of things that he would like. So he would really like a new soccer ball and he really needs a new pair of shoes. And so those are the 2 main things that he has asked for. He's just a really simple, easygoing kid. So those are the 2 things specifically he's asked for. But there are some things, okay, Bernadette, I'm gonna get to your question in just a second. There are some things that I'm gonna add to that. So I am gifting Landon and Shayden each a Minky blanket. So Minky reached out to us and was donated a couple of blankets for my family. So we're really, really excited. I'm really excited to be gifting those to my boys this Christmas. And then I'm giving my boys some sweatshirts from the brand Juice Box. They, again, sponsored that and reached out to me and were willing to donate those for my boys. So they're just these oversized, like aesthetically pleasing, sensory friendly sweatshirts that I know my boys will wear and appreciate. I also got Landon like some noise canceling headphones. So that way when we're in the car, he doesn't have to hear the Quints because they're super loud, and the bigger they get, the louder they get when we're traveling. And that was a suggestion from Chad. He was like, I think that Landon would really like that and appreciate those. And those are something that his 14-year-old son has and loves them. So I found a good deal on Amazon on Black Friday. And so that's something that I'm going to include in there. And then this next week, I'm going to be focusing on Christmas shopping, mainly for my 2 older boys. You guys are talking about how much you love the Minky Couture blankets in your houses. I was skeptical at first. I was like, what is so special about these blankets? Why are they so amazing? Like in my family, little grandma and my mom, they quilt, they sew. And so homemade quilts in our home have been our favorite thing since I was a little girl. I have my favorite blankets that they made, and those are our absolute favorite too. But there is something special about they're not specifically weighted blankets, but they are sensory friendly. They're stretchy. My kids love them. We can fit like 3 or 4 of us in these blankets and just snuggle up at the end of the night, and it's comforting to my kids. And with the separation, with the divorce, like years ago, that was the one gift I wanted to give my big boys, and they love them still. So we are big fans of Minky. If you haven't heard of them, check them out. Minky Couture. You can find them on Instagram. I'm pretty sure you can find them on Facebook. And they oftentimes have like discount coupon codes that we love. So I always buy them when they have their sales and their coupon codes, but they really are amazing. Okay, you guys, I am talking a lot. Okay, Bernadette asked, how do you deal with when you don't have your kids for the holidays? I'm gonna be really honest, you guys, like it is really, really hard. I really miss my kids when they're not with me. But you know, most divorced moms, you just make the best of it. And so I just try and make it extra special around the holiday that we're celebrating, whether it's Halloween, whether it's Christmas. And I try and stay centered on the real meaning of Christmas, of Easter. And it is just as magical for my kids. And so, yeah, it's hard. Do I cry on those days and holidays when I don't have my kids? Yes, I do. I miss them. But I'm also realizing my identity isn't just being a mom. It is my greatest calling. It's the thing I love the most about my life is being a mother. But I also realize there's this other portion of me. Michelle, that's sweet. You look pretty. Thanks. I felt so tired and so dead, and I really wanted to wash my hair. But I was reading in Logan's classroom and I barely made it on time. I was actually 10 minutes late to the reading thing. And so I felt like, you know, if I slap some makeup on for this live video and change out my outfit, I feel just a little bit more alive today because boy, I am tired. So Michelle, that's very kind of you to say. So do I miss my kids when I don't have them with the rotation, with my co-parent? Yes, I absolutely do. But I also love having that time to explore talents, hobbies, things that are interesting to me, to work on relationships. So, you know, pros and cons, you just have to look for the silver lining and everything. Michelle, you say very festive. Thank you. I almost wore red lipstick, but I was like, I'm just not feeling the red lipstick today. So anyway, just like a little bit more of a brighter pink lipstick is what I was going for today. And it helps me feel a little bit more awake. Okay, Chad reminds me so much of your dad. I have seen so many comments from the beginning of people noticing that. Yes, I think for me, like dating has been this hard process, right? Like when you are single, when you're a woman, when you've been through some things, like sometimes dating, you don't know how you feel about some of these new people, right? That you potentially could go out on a date with. And so for me, finding someone that I trust, that I love, that I adore, my dad, he has so many amazing qualities that the two of them have in common, honestly. And so those are things that I really admire. Each of them are very hard workers. And that was the one thing, like okay, I'll be honest, since Chad's not here, Chad, I don't even know if you're watching this, but I was actually dating different people casually, like a date here and there during the time frame that I met Chad. And I was also in the process of moving and I hadn't publicly announced it yet. And I was busy like sprucing up my home to sell it so that I could make as much money as I could in the process of selling it. So anyway, that's been like a whole thing. And he was so good, so kind. He would come over and help me paint my house. And I was like, you know, I'm stinky, I'm sweaty, like I don't have any makeup on today. And he didn't care. He was like, I just want to get to know you. And if you're going to be spending 9 hours on a Saturday painting your house, I'd love to get to know you. And so that was how we casually started dating. And he has a lot of the same qualities and characteristics that I admire in someone I already know and love. And he also has things that make him totally different, which I love too. So anyway, it's been really healing for me. I think this dating process, learning about myself, learning about what I want, and learning how to trust has been a hard but beautiful thing. And I think it's quite common in women that have been divorced. Okay, somebody asked, I think, do you use old ornaments? I think that was your question, but it went so fast. So ask that question again, and I'm happy to answer your question. Okay, next question is from, okay, are the kids in separate classrooms? So we have talked about this before. Yes, there are 4 different first grade teachers. Violet and Lincoln are in the same class, and then the other 3 kids have separate classrooms. Logan has the same teacher that he had in his kindergarten class. I love her. She is amazing. She's sweet and she's so creative. I went into her classroom today and you guys, she had like this handmade Christmas tree. From the center of the ceiling, she had linked all of these green pieces of like, sorry, I haven't had lunch yet, you guys. It's been a day. Of just like a chain link, I think is what it's called, just like green paper. And it was shaped like a tree and it was just magical. The kids were playing a game. I went in and read to the classroom and it was just so cute. Karen says you glow when you talk about Chad. Thank you. I'm still trying to process how I think and feel about the relationship, but so far I really, really like him. I really, really like him. So that is where I'm at as of today, with getting to know him. Okay. Aaliyah asks, shout out to Aaliyah. She has been watching forever. She is, I think, Aaliyah, you're 12 years old is what your mother said. But her question of the day is, what's your family's favorite Christmas book? We really like Olaf's Night Before Christmas. It's really funny. It makes a great gift. It's clever. It's funny. My kids love it. And it's great to read in a classroom. It really gets children's attention. They're familiar with Frozen. They're familiar with Olaf. And it's kind of a spin on the classic Night Before Christmas. And it's funny. So I would say Olaf's Night Before Christmas. Okay, so I think the question was, do you use old ornaments? For this year, we're only using a few of the ornaments because I still haven't unpacked everything from my garage. But my kids have already been creating homemade ornaments. And so I do have a vlog coming up that's going to come out on Thursday or Friday of the kids decorating the Christmas tree. So they've been really excited, especially having girls, you guys. Having girls is just like the cherry on top with the frosting and the sprinkles, because they just want to create beauty wherever they go with whatever they can find, even if it's just from like flowers outside. So they have just been so excited about decorating our Christmas tree. So I'm really excited to be sharing that with you guys. Okay, Caitlin asked, do the kids like being in separate classes at school? No. They miss each other so much, but at recess, they get to see each other. And then at home, it just makes it that much more special when they get to play with each other outside of school. I think the number one best thing that has happened is my kids are learning social skills and they are learning how to branch outside of each other as quintuplets and make friends. And so that's both good and bad, right? All children need to learn good social skills, and being quintuplets is a little bit different. So, for instance, my kids come home sometimes and they want to talk about what happened at recess, or somebody hurt their feelings, or maybe one of my kids hurt somebody else's feelings. So we're talking about all of those things in the home and talking about how our actions can impact another person and how they think and how they feel. And so, like, for instance, one of my kids borrowed a bracelet from one of their best friends, and they have lost that bracelet. And so one of the things we're talking about is mistakes are how we learn, but how can you fix it? And if that relationship is important to you, how can you talk to your friend about that and make it right and make it better and make that relationship stronger than it was before? And so that little girl was really cute today. Before school, she was really worried because she was working on this like sorry note that she wanted to make for her friend. And then she wants to find that bracelet. I don't know that she's going to find it. I've not seen it at my house. So anyway, we'll probably need to take her to the store and purchase a new bracelet or have her make a bracelet. And I don't know how fancy the bracelet was, but we're also talking about like, that's one of the things about borrowing things. Okay, I'm seeing Ruth, you're asking me to bring the children on video. My co-parent and I have agreed that we will not be bringing the children on live videos. They are too young, and until my kids are 18, they will not be on live videos. I've addressed this one before. Okay, Ruth is from St. George. Merry Christmas, Ruth. Good to see you on here. Okay, next question is from Dolan Davis. Your children are beautiful and get along so well. Are they ever competitive with each other? Yes. Most days. I have my two youngest of the bunch are the ones that go at it and fight the most. I would say the last couple days they've woken up at 5:30 and I could hear them fighting. And I think it's just like the excitement of Christmas, being back at mom's house. And so we're really working on relationships of how to treat each other as siblings in my home. And so it was really interesting because it was actually Lily and Lincoln that were fighting yesterday. And that's what I woke up to. And I was like, guys, I had 3 or 4 kids in my bed that first night back. I had 3 kids in my bed last night. So I'm really tired. I had one that, anyway, just needed extra love and snuggles in the middle of the night. But Lincoln and Lily were fighting, and it was interesting to be up and going at like 5:45, having these conversations with my kids, like my melatonin hadn't worn off. I was super tired. And then teaching them that we still have to be kind if you disagree. And anyway, so they were both kind of fighty because they have differing opinions. Little boys, little girls, they're just wired differently. And later that day at about 6 that morning, you guys, I'm so tired, I'm sorry. At about 6:30, Lincoln kind of totally made this like come around and shift, and he wanted to help and he wanted to make things right and make things better. And so he was really sweet. He wanted to make all of the kids lunches that morning. And so he wanted to give everyone an extra cookie. And then he and Lily were back to like being best friends and playing. So it is interesting as my kids are learning as quintuplets, as little kids do, mistakes are how they learn. And I think the best place to teach those things and those morals and those values is in the home. And so that's really what I've been focusing on the last couple days, specifically with my kids, is teaching them how to communicate well and express themselves in healthy ways. And just because they're mad doesn't mean that they can take it out on a sibling. So anyway, that is where my kids have been at. Are they competitive? Yes. But what we're trying to teach them is our best is good enough. Our best is great. And encouraging and championing each other as siblings. You're such a great mom, teaching your kids in such a positive way. I wish I had your patience. Katie, some days I wish I had more patience than I have, because some days I am just at my max by the time I drop the kids off at school, and I just need a hot shower and some deodorant, if we're being honest. And that was kind of one of those days again today that we had. Okay, Steve One Way asks, who is the tallest? I'm gonna say probably Lily. It could be Daisy. Daisy has had a huge growth spurt, but so has Lily in the last 3 weeks' time. Okay, next question is from Mrs. B. Christensen. Does Landon have equal time at both houses? Yes, the quintuplets switch off from Sunday to Sunday is how we rotate with the quintuplets. And then we've staggered Landon, so he has an extra couple days at each household. And that's been really healthy and good for Landon. He was very assertive talking about that. Katie, you say you totally get it. Katie, how old are your kids? Do you have kids right now? I mean, I love Christmas, but sometimes my kids just get on one with like the holidays and the excitement. Positive teaching is great and rewarding, is what Mary says. Yes, I think positive reinforcement is the best in teaching children, especially children that experience big emotions and they don't always know how to regulate it in healthy ways as children. I have one child that feels very deeply. I have another child that is very passionate in the way he expresses emotions, and he needs a lot of guidance on that. And so being there for him and being a listening ear for him is how he's going to learn, so that when he grows up and is a grown man, he is the healthiest person that he can possibly be. Gosh, I love my kids, but these are things that we are working on right now. Okay, next question is from Dubai Carrie. What is your favorite Christmas song, and do you have any Christmas ideas for grandparents? Bernadette asked, does Landon have a crush? Okay, we're gonna get back to my question, and before this escapes me, Bernadette, yes, Landon always likes the same type of girl. Katie, yes, I have 4 kids, 12, 10, 8, and then one more it saw. Yes, they keep you on your toes, and you had your kids, mine were spaced, so in some ways it's easier. But having your kids like 2 years apart or back to back, especially if you, some of you older gals that did this a long time ago, like being a mother is exhausting at times. It is so much work, but it's also the most rewarding. Kay Gloria says, you're a beautiful LDS woman. That's very kind of you to say. You know, I'm learning every day. Honestly, right now, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm really struggling with doing social media, and to have you guys on here when I do these live videos to be so kind and encouraging honestly helps me right now, because doing social media, I don't think people realize it's actually really hard for an introvert like me to put myself out there and to be public. It's just kind of something that fell into our laps and has been a beautiful way for me to be an at-home mom, still manage a household, still be with my children and provide the most. But gosh, right now it's really hard for me to do that. So I really appreciate how kind you guys are to me on these live videos. The other videos, it's not always that way. So I just really appreciate the amazing support of you amazing women here. Okay, does Landon have a crush? Yes. He consistently likes the same type of gals when I talk to him. They're typically blonde and blue-eyed and sweet as can be. And as he calls them, not high maintenance, down to earth, have a good sense of humor kind of gals. So I like his taste in girls. I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's wonderful. And it's fun to find out sometimes who his crushes are. And they tend to kind of shift every year to somebody different. But he does aim high, and I like the type of girls that he likes. And I'll say too, Shayden, I like the type of gal that Shayden has picked. Mary says her kids, 3 kids, were 4 years apart with 3 different personalities. Isn't it crazy how nature versus nurture, like children that have, even with quintuplets, like they have the same experience, but they are each so very different. And they were so different. Even when I was pregnant with them, I could tell through ultrasounds every day that I had, but also like within my body where they were placed, like they were each so different. And on the way to school, that was actually what my kids were talking about. They were also talking about what I would have named them if they didn't have the names they had now. And so each of my kids were like, Mom, can you just call me that name today? Let's just pretend my name is that. And so I think Vivi wants to be called Savvy today for Savannah. Lincoln didn't like Bo, and he didn't like the name Noah. So he just wants to be Lincoln. Logan wants to be called Tommy today for some reason. I think the new Barbie show my girls are watching as a Tommy. And so he wants to be called Tommy. Lily wants to be called Elsie because I consider the name Elsie from the amount of Elsa birthday parties I was doing with infertility, saving up all of that. And then who am I forgetting? Daisy wants to be called Dawn today. I don't know why. She just picked a name for herself. I think because her name is Bright and she's a sweetheart. So anyway, that was our conversation on the way to school today. Okay, Carrie asked, what was your favorite Christmas song? I have a new favorite Christmas song that's been on repeat. It's a Katy Perry song. I think it's called Cozy Christmas. So I'll probably be making like a reel or a short little story put to that music from us decorating the Christmas tree, because really it's all about loving people to me this Christmas. And that's what I'm trying to teach to my kids. So that's my new favorite Christmas song. Christmas ideas for grandparents. You guys, I have the coolest idea for a gift. So my mom and little grandma are probably going to be watching this. Now you're going to know what I'm gifting you for Christmas. 3 things that they're going to be getting for their Christmas presents. I've shared this before. I love this brand of hot chocolate, Silly Cow Farms. It's made in Vermont. It is really rich, and you have to make it with like really hot milk so that it dissolves. My kids and I love this stuff. It is so good. And then I love that you can like save the container for like a vase to put flowers in, or anyway, whatever. So we're going to give those to our grandparents. They taste so good. You could probably make your own DIY hot chocolate for cheaper with a cute little container. My kids would love that. This is the other thing that okay, so I know my mom's watching this. This is the other thing that I am gifting this year to grandparents. These are the coolest things. So this is from a company called Slice, and this is a box cutter. With the amount of packages that people order online these days, but also like unboxing on Christmas Day, this is made for people with arthritis, people with like cubital tunnel, carpal tunnel like me. I have a hard time holding on to scissors. And so this has been a lifesaver. So I ordered a whole bunch of these and some brand new Somebody just asked favorite affordable teacher gifts to give. I need ideas. Okay, I have an idea for you. Oh, sorry. Okay, hold on. I just dropped this. Because I have problems with my hands, that very thing I was just talking about. And then these are manual mini cutters. So these you can use in your kitchen. You can use for like anything. I use these mainly for like unboxing things because I have such problems with my hands. And I love that these are, okay, let me see if you guys can see this. These have a retractable blade. So you're less likely to cut yourself with like a traditional razor blade. So anyway, I love those kinds of things. So those are gonna be great Christmas presents. And then the other thing that's affordable that I just picked up. So as far as like decorating our tree, these were great, but I went to the Dollar Tree here in St. George, and I printed off just our favorite pictures of my kids, just in black and white from Walmart, like 1 hour photos. So these we are going to be gifting to grandparents this year. These are all from the Dollar Tree. So just your favorite photo you can upload to Walmart, print it off, and these make a great gift. So between these, that's going to be in their little gift bags. And then these little box cutter things, because it's going to be really helpful on their hands, especially to have those available on Christmas Day. So anyway, all of these frames I picked up at the Dollar Tree, and you get a lot for $1.25, I feel like. I mean, the bigger ones you get more bang for your buck, but I think all three of these are just so cute and charming. So anyway, that is what we're going to be gifting. I thought that was a good question that she just asked. Okay, next question is from Jen. Why does Daisy always smell her hands? Is it a sensory thing? She's beautiful. So a couple of my kids have something called sensory processing disorder. And I didn't even know that was like a thing, or even what that was, until my kids, I had them in play therapy temporarily during the separation. It was so helpful with that transition. So that just means my children feel deeply, and sometimes they feel overwhelmed or overstimulated, and they just need to take more breaks. So Daisy, if you guys have noticed this lately, she's doing it even more than she used to, but ever since she was little, like, she smells her hands. So everything has a smell, and I'm wired like this too. So like, if she gives someone a high five, she immediately like smells her hand after. If we're baking, she's constantly like smelling and wanting to, that's how she sees the world around her. So like, smells are very strong for her. And so that's why she smells her hands a lot. Between baking, when she's trying new things, it's just a way that she experiences things. And one of the first times I actually noticed this is when she was a baby. She would have her hands out a lot when she was excited. And really the other thing that I noticed is the first time I took her outside in the rain, I don't think she could quite walk yet, but she could stand up, and she was smelling her hands a lot, and she was just kind of moving her hands around a lot as she was touching everything outside while it was raining. And it was like the sweetest thing. So anyway, that's why she smells her hands a lot. So you might have heard that conversation for a minute. Okay, so hopefully that helps you guys understand Daisy a little bit more. Did you name Landon after someone like Michael Landon? It's kind of a male version spin on my name, Lana. So Lana's asking. Landon, I have loved the name Landon since I was trying to have another baby, like forever. I loved the name Landon. And Landon was infertility as well. It took me 4 years, I think, to get pregnant with Landon. And so anyway, I loved the name Landon. His dad picked the name Michael. And I was like, are you sure? Because it's like right out of The Office, like Landon Michael Scott. But so far nobody's really teased him about it. So like, it's been fine. But yes, that's why he has the name Landon Michael. Okay. Dario asked, Dario Canine Companion, what are the kids' favorite books? I was going to share with you some of my kids' recent favorite books. We really love finding books at the thrift store. And for us, it is our local Deseret Industries is what it's called. We love collecting American Girl books, and we can get these for about $1. So Vivi especially really loves the stories about Molly right now. I think Molly is just funky. She knows how to do hard things. She's not afraid to speak up and talk about how she thinks and feels. And so anyway, we really like this one right now. Angela asks, what is Santa bringing the little children? He is bringing my kids scooters, little Razor scooters. They're going to be so excited. We had a neighbor gift an old scooter, and all of my kids have been sharing that one scooter. And so this year they're each going to have their own. So we're really excited. I like collecting books that also aren't necessarily Christmas books, but with the colors and things, they're fun to display like on a shelf or something. So these are some of our favorite Christmas books. All of these I picked up at our local thrift shop for like $1 or 50 cents. Mike McMulligan and the Steam Engine. I love this one. It's classic and colorful and teaches good things. I love it. And it's a Virginia Lee Burton book. I also love Katie and the Big Snow. My kids love Virginia Lee Burton. This one I really like. I think I got this one on Amazon. It's called The Little Train. Super cute. They have a whole bunch of these. There's The Little Farm, The Little Train. I forget all of the different books that they have. But I also, with the ages of my kids, I still love like the hardback books. Jamie, do you have the Kissing Hand ornament? I've had mine a few years from Hallmark, the Kissing Hand ornament. I don't have the ornament, but I did find the Kissing Hand book at our local thrift shop for like 50 cents. And I pull it out every time with the new school year. And for Lincoln, when he misses me, or Logan in particular, it's really helpful to teach. I love that the book is about anytime you miss your parent, if you put your hand on your face, you can feel the love and the warmth that your mother has for you. So anyway, I really love that book and we read that one a lot. Harry McClary from Donaldson's Dairy is another one my kids like. It's not a Christmas book, but the illustrations are fun, they're adorable, and my kids think this is a funny book. So anyway, hopefully that answers that question about our kids' favorite books. And I do like rotating my books out with the seasons, because then my kids just enjoy reading a little bit more. Okay, next question is from Carlene. What is your favorite Christmas memory as a kid growing up and now that you have kids? So my little girls are asking these kinds of questions. When I was about 6 years old, 5 years old, I vividly remember my childhood. I do too. I used to cry reading it before school. Bernadette, I cry every time I read that, especially like before they go to their dad's house. Sometimes I read that book to them. I cry every time I read it too. Maybe I'm just like sentimental and I'm getting old. I don't know, but it really is a good story. Watching from North Carolina. Hi, Angela. Welcome. Glad you're here. Okay. Favorite Christmas memory. I was 6 years old and my grandmother that Lily is named after, she brought me a Christmas present and there was a tiny little rip. And every day I would peek under the tree to see if I could figure out what were in these different gifts so I could shake them. And then I noticed this particular gift like had a little rip. So every day I would just peel it back a little more. But somebody just said, you like my shirt. Thank you. I do usually wear muted colors, but I wanted to feel alive today. So I switched out my earrings and I changed out my shirt. I usually wear this one in the springtime and around Christmas. And then I usually pair it with like some fun, punchy red lipstick. But anyway, so that was sweet of you. Anyway, so every single day, this package, like the hole just got bigger and bigger and bigger until I realized my grandmother had gotten me a Barbie and I was really excited. So that is like a really vivid memory I have. And then I also remember the year that my mom got me an American Girl doll. And my mom had worked and worked cleaning so many houses to save up enough money to pay for dance lessons for me, but also an American Girl doll. So I think I like screamed with excitement. So that was another special Christmas that I remember as a little kid. What is my favorite memory of Christmas with my kids? I don't know that I have an exact memory. I think I love taking my kids to see Santa Claus, but I also love the excitement and the magic of childhood. So that's probably what I'd say. Jamie, you were such a wonderful mom. Merry Christmas. God is so good. Angela, God is good. And I love it when people say that. I think God is very mindful, even on the days that are hard, that I struggle. If we're being really honest in this video, you guys are my people in these live videos. He is aware of us. And that is what I have to keep in mind, even on hard days when I'm just so tired and my kids are just gripey at 5:30 a.m. in the morning. Okay, Mary Lou asks, have you ever lost a child temporarily in a store? I've done it with only 2 kids. I can't imagine 5. You know, I've never lost a kid in a store. I think I'm probably hyper vigilant when it comes to my kids, and I'm super protective of my children. And so most of the time, since my children were spaced, the 2 with infertility, I had a lot of one-on-one time. So very rarely did I ever have 2 kids shopping with me at the same time. I usually did my grocery shopping when Shayden was at school, so I just had Landon. With the quintuplets, we don't get out as frequently when it comes to shopping or at a store, and they tend to stay right by me so they don't get lost. Logan's been lost a few times, and he doesn't like being lost. So anyway, yeah, I've never lost track of my kids. Laura asks, what is your favorite holiday? I would say Christmas, and I would still say Halloween. I don't typically celebrate Halloween like most people do. To me, it's a celebration of childhood, and so that's how I view Halloween. Sue asked, do you have any special traditions for Christmas Eve, and will you have the quints for Christmas Eve and Christmas? Yes, the quints will be with me for Christmas. Happy Birthday, Jesus is my favorite Christmas song besides Silent Night. I love that one. There's another Christmas song that we sing in church. I heard the bells on Christmas Day, and it's one that's kind of like a sad Christmas song, but it's also beautiful because the holidays can also be hard for some people, and depending on the season of life that we're in, if we've lost a loved one, I really, really love the message of that song too. So I love incorporating that in our Christmas, especially like congregational hymns. I love that one song. I love that song too. I also love, what's like a hallelujah song? I can't think of it, but I also love that one too. Silent Night is beautiful too. Okay, Christmas traditions on Christmas Eve. We like to open Christmas pajamas. We usually open them at Grandma Smith's house, and the kids get Christmas jammies, some sort of little stuffed animal or a book. And my kids just love it, and it's kind of a fun tradition. And then we usually get Christmas jammies, and I wear them all year long, and they're always sensory friendly because my mom knows I won't wear them if they're itchy. I'm just like the kids, but anyway. Okay, so I answered that one. Amy Joe asks, I'm in a mixed faith marriage. Was church the reason for your divorce? No, it was not. Gina asks, will you do more videos and recipes for Christmas? You are an amazing cook and baker. I like the video that you made. If people are interested in that, I can totally share more recipes. With things that we like to make and things we like to do. I know the kids really get excited about cooking and baking together. It takes a lot longer when I'm baking with quintuplets, but it's real, it's messy. When I bake, I'm like very like hygiene oriented. And so like watching that video back, like the amount of times my kids were smelling their hands, touching their face and nose, I was like, okay, just heads up to their dad, like these pies, I'm telling you now, the quintuplets made them. So take that with like, knowing what comes with that. So, but anyway, I do enjoy baking with my kids. We can make more videos like that of how we cook, how we make things. And it's something fun that the kids do enjoy doing together. Esmeralda asks, how is little grandma? She's doing really well. My sister is amazing. She visits little grandma every single Wednesday. And so they spend time together. Landon likes spending time together with her as well. And then we see her every Sunday with my family. Excuse me, I just burped. She really is amazing, and she is as sweet as they come. We love little grandma. Okay, Connie asks for the recipe for egg-free pancakes and French toast. I'm happy to share that. Mainly, I just substitute just about anything with this egg replacer from Bob's Red Mill. We really like it. I've tried other ones and they just taste weird. This one, you use like, 1 tablespoon of egg replacer to 2 tablespoons of water. So when we make French toast, I just kind of like wing a recipe with like milk, vanilla, cinnamon, sugar, and then we substitute the egg with this stuff, and my kids love it. Okay, next question is from Rhonda. Do you miss remodeling a house? Sometimes I do, but my bank account doesn't miss it. I spent a lot of money remodeling that house. And the thing, I learned so much. It really was a great educational experience for me in home remodeling and home repair. And it wasn't my first house doing that. I learned that if you're redoing plumbing and electric work, it costs a lot of money. And so a lot of my budget went to that. If I were to do it again, I think I would simplify with some of the things that I did purchase, because there's things like laminate flooring in white oak that is like cheaper, way cheaper, and looks just as nice as like tile between the labor and the time. Like there's other things you can do that just cost a lot less money that spruce up a home and make it just as beautiful. So that's one thing I would do. And I don't think I would have waited. I think I would have dove in and just like done more of what I loved. If I were to purchase a home again, which I would love to, and find another fixer-upper. My timer is going off. Okay, next question is from Rhonda. If you had to work outside the home, what type of job would you choose? I've said this before, like I would love to be some sort of therapist, and that's something that I could do as I age, as I get older, working with kids, working with teenagers. The other thing that I would really have an interest in is interior design. I love decorating. I love creating a cozy space. So I would love to go to school for that. I have taken one interior design class. When Landon was a baby, I went back to school and I did do one semester and I loved it. I love going to school and I love learning. The next question is from Lynn Smith. Thank you for your inspiration. How do you keep your energy up? Two things. I would say prayer, caffeine. Okay, three things. And chocolate. I also love Dr. Pepper. So when it comes to caffeine, these are two things I really like. I like Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. And I also like this AG1 stuff. Chad, my boyfriend Chad, got me hooked on this stuff. I really like this. And this is a healthier option as opposed to being a soda drinker. And it also has B12. So it's a little bit different type of energy. So anyway, that's something that I really like. Lynn asks, do you think you will marry again? I would love to see myself remarried again one day. Van Rogers asks, do you think you will marry Chad? You two are so good together. I have considered that. It's something I still think about. I want to marry, okay, this is like a really honest vlog, you guys. So I hope you enjoy this one. I want to date someone during all the seasons. I want to know how a person is and how they treat me when they're angry, when they're upset about life, about this, about that. I want to see and experience the holidays with someone in dating. I just want to know that they're a good person, that they'll treat me well and that they'll treat my kids well. And so far in getting to know Chad, he's checking all the boxes and it's wonderful. It's wonderful. So we'll just say that. We'll say that. I want to continue to date in all the seasons. Okay. Let's see. Next question is from 6-Car Pileup. What are your boundaries with your kids when it comes to meeting a new boyfriend? So I don't know if this is a question because you're considering dating. As far as boundaries, like I've been dating for about a year, like casually dating. I've really only been exclusively dating the last, 5 months, almost 6 months, I want to say. I didn't want my kids meeting people that I was just going to casually go out on a date with. And so Chad was a little bit different because my kids did meet him on our first date. And it was just a date at the splash pad that we met up on. My kids just played and then we just kind of chatted. So to my kids, he was just somebody I started talking to at the park. And so for me, I don't know, like meeting a new boyfriend or introducing someone, I would say give it time. But this was one where my kids met him on the first date, but then we just dated on our own and getting to know each other. So after time, then my kids really got to know him. So they didn't really think anything of it besides he helped us to our car. He walked us to my car and that was it. So other than that, he was just someone to my kids that I was getting to know at the park. So anyway, that was my experience. those are all the questions that came in. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. We are getting into the holiday spirit over here in our home. I'm excited. I'm gonna go pick up my kids. They're gonna wanna decorate the Christmas tree. I need to hide some of this wrapping paper and gifts because my kids are just busy snooping for Christmas presents. I don't know if your kids do that. They've already discovered Christmas presents at their dad's house. And so I am like adamant that they are not gonna find them at my house. All of our Christmas presents are in black trash bags out in the garage, and my kids still haven't figured that out yet. So anyway, I'm gonna get back to that, and then I'm gonna go pick up my kids from school. I love you guys. Thank you for championing our family, for being so kind to us and being so kind to me as I am navigating this journey of life with my kids, navigating dating, providing for my family, all of these things. I am so grateful for the kindness that you have shown me and shown my family. Love to you all. I will see you in our next vlog. We'll be decorating our Christmas tree, and I am just excited to share more great content with you guys. Love you all. Have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.